Well, Amanda Johnstone is one of Australia's most globally recognised AI technologists and high technology communicators. Time have awarded her as a next generation leader for her work in social impact technology, and the CEO magazine awarded her as Startup Executive of the Year. Not a bad rap sheet. Pretty impressive. Even more impressive is the fact that next week she is on her way to Ballarat to present at a Commerce Ballarat BizNet breakfast, and she joins me on the line from LA this morning. Amanda, welcome to Ballarat today.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
Did you ever dream that you'd have AI technologist on your business card, Amanda?
I certainly didn't. I know you worked in Johnstone for a while, and that's where I first started in the tech scene, doing an online store actually on MySpace 20 years ago. So it's interesting to see how the world has changed. I'm someone who didn't even finish year 12. I didn't go to university. So last night I had dinner with the Chief Technology and Innovation Officer from NASA here in Los Angeles. Pinch me, how did this happen? And I'm excited that people who come from places like Ballarat and Tasmania can take on the world now with the power of computers.
Yeah, it's quite inspiring, Amanda, that you can come from the island state and now here you are in LA this morning helping NASA out. Other companies you've helped out include Google and CommBank, KPMG, etc. Your ride just keeps getting wilder, it seems.
I think many people think AI is really quite complex, and yes, it is, but it's about talking to people as real people and real humans and allowing people to ask dumb questions. So that's how I try and communicate about technology so everyone can use it. Like AI is really good for farming, for example, and for copywriting, for jobs like yours. So just sharing with people what they can learn about and making it not too daunting, because I think sometimes, you're in the news industry, you read the news sometimes, it can all be a bit overwhelming. So it's like, let's get to the facts and help people really take advantage of it.
The facts, what an interesting idea, Amanda. Goodness gracious. There's a lot of chatter about people's jobs being lost, though, because of AI. What's your view on this topic?
It's interesting, when the abacus came out and the quill and cane, accountants didn't start to, fear the quill and cane for accounting and record keeping. Similarly, when Microsoft Excel came out, they learned how to use that. They got a CD-ROM in the mail and they uploaded the software to the computer. And then when the internet and tools like MYOB and Xero came along, it helped accountants to work quicker with the tax office, to get better results for their clients and take on more clients. And now with the emergence of AI, it's just going to make jobs even easier for people so they can do their job better and also do more client-facing stuff. I think, over the last 30 years, we've started automating everything. We're always on our phones and our computers. And I'm actually really excited that those kind of tasks that we made ourselves do to enhance what we're able to take on will be put back to the robots and the computers, right? So we can be more personable in what we do. We can care for the elderly. We can spend time with our children. I actually think, yes, it's going to take parts of our job, but it's not going to take away our job. It's actually going to allow us to do our job more efficiently and build better lives for ourselves.
And Amanda, the other conversation we keep hearing in the AI space is about it, with its evil villain cap on and dark music playing, it's going to take over the world in an evil sense. What's your view on that? Have we got the parameters in place to contain AI?
Oh, I think we've all seen Terminator 2, right?
Spot on.
Apparently they're working on Terminator 3. Look, yes, I do believe that. I do believe it is an evil and scary thing and it can grow to be something like that. And that's why I've made the pledge to come to places like Ballarat and update people and tell them how they can be involved. If we're training artificial intelligence just on defence, if we're training it just on middle-aged white male software engineers, we're going to create AI that is biased. So right now we need everybody to get involved with the training of the AI models so we end up with a fair AI, with one that's not rigged one way or the other. We need people from all backgrounds, all ages and all representations to be using AI and training what's called the large language models, so we don't end up with a future that's just controlled by one or two, men at the top or women at the top, or countries who are like pushing it quite hard. So yes, I do believe it could end up being quite evil, but I think humanity is a bit better than that. And, we have a lot of people out here making sure that the message is spread that we can all be using and training AI right from the get-go.
Amanda, what about AI in education? Some schools have come out and said, not in our classrooms. What's your view in this space?
You know, it's interesting in China, actually. If you Google China emotion AI in classrooms, there's a Wall Street article video that was posted in 2017 or 19, and it shows the kids in the classroom are wearing EEG headsets and their retinas are being followed, and comprehension analysis is being done on each student with the parents' permission, actually, strangely enough. But there's that to understand comprehension of students and if they're focused or if they're not. And, you know, Australia has safeguards for that. We're not just going to go and extrapolate data from children, which is actually electronic protected health data, by the way. But, yeah, I think AI can be used in a great way to enhance learning for individuals, so tailored individual learning. Me, for example, I'm dyslexic, so I struggled at maths at school. Who would have ever thought I would have ended up running an AI company, you know, with some of the greatest minds in the world being funded through my company? So I think AI can be really positive for the education space. I think we should not be embracing it and fearing it. AI is not going away. This isn't a hype cycle like the words crypto or metaverse. AI has been around in cybernetics since the 1950s. Now it's just available for everyday people to use. So this is where we need to teach people. If you write this one down, this is a good one, is engineering, so prompt engineering. So we need to be teaching students and people how to tell AI what we want it to achieve. Rather than fearing it and, pushing it away, because this is going to be in people's lives forever. And school is about enhancing people and building people for the future. Yes, there needs to be very strict guidelines around that. But if we're not embracing our kids for the future, why are we, they don't need to learn how to put a CD-ROM in a computer or a floppy disk. We must be educating them for the future. We must be.
I can't believe I'm talking to Amanda Johnstone, and you mentioned the word floppy disk, Amanda. I didn't think that was going to come up this morning, you know. Hey, we mentioned your early career in Tassie with online retailing and, of course, the fact that you're CEO of Transhuman these days. I also noticed, too, that you're passionate about the prevention of youth suicide, and you've created an app in this space, Amanda. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, we did. We worked with the team at Are You OK, who were great to us, really helpful. They're a public health campaign. I'm sure you would have heard of it.
Yeah.
And it just kind of got hard. Are you OK is a question we should be asking every day. So we created an app that allows you to check in with up to 5 people you trust every day. And it's based on role modeling vulnerability. So, for example, if you had a look at my Instagram, you'd think I'm pretty happy. I'm over here in LA. I'm doing work. I'm having a great time. It's nice and sunny. We think that we know how people feel by looking at their social media, but that's not the truth. So we created something where people take the mask off and feel safe with a few people they trust. But I can't see how your day is going until I've tracked how I feel. So unlike social media where you can just look and see, you actually have to be vulnerable first in order to see how the people in your little friendship circle are feeling. And that's spread to over 80 countries. So that's been a great one for us.
What a great
and free
success.
As well.
Hey,
free.
Right.
We don't store anyone's data or anything.
Right sort of price.
Coming from a regional town, I just knew we had to do something about it,
I was going to ask you about that.
Why not use the thing we're on every day? Why don't we use that to stay in touch with people we care about?
Yeah, great point. I was going to ask you about your passion for regional Australia. I mean, here you are talking to us from LA this morning, but you're on the way to, a city of just over 100,000 people in Ballarat next week, Amanda. Surely you could be doing bigger things. What's the appeal?
I come from Launceston, as I said. I actually come from a housing commission area called Ravenswood, where if you've watched the show Bogans on TV, it actually won the most bogan city in Australia. And the stereotype was there, single mom, dyslexic, didn't have a lot of money, went to public school, all those things that could have worked against me. And I feel like in Australia, we have that Australian dream. We can uplift and we can apply ourselves in whatever way we want. And I remember being 16 and picking up the phone and calling Nigel Austin, a gentleman who lived in Geelong, who had a very small store at the time, I think about 30 stores, called Cotton On.
Oh, yeah.
And he took my call when I asked him to be my mentor. So I had someone from Geelong mentor me, not someone from Melbourne or Sydney or LA. And I think, when we come from these places, it's really important to go back to the communities and remind people that not only, can they do something bigger in the world, but now with the internet, you don't even have to leave the community. You can have impact right from your bedroom or from your office or from your farm. You don't have to fly all around the world, or you don't have to be based in Melbourne or Sydney. And this is where, we've seen this from COVID as well, with a lot of people returning to regional communities. It's affordable to live, or it's much more affordable than the big cities. And some of the greatest ideas and infrastructures there. We have great infrastructure in Australia to drive businesses and to drive community. Why not build it from Ballarat?
Yeah, well, we're glad you're coming to our city, Amanda, and we love you've still got that regional focus, and I'm sure Ballarat business leaders are going to be looking forward to hearing your message next week at the Commerce Ballarat BizNet Breakfast. It's on Tuesday, that's the 1st of August, can you believe, from 7 o'clock out at the Mercure Hotel. You can book your spot at commerceballarat.com.au. Amanda Johnstone, it's been a great pleasure to have you on Ballarat Today this morning. Thanks for your time from LA.
Thanks so much. I'll see you next week.